Yeah, so this is our group computer or group name here. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, and this is our sixth member of the Pi. Yeah, that's the video segment.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Adam Nichols.
And what was your task for this assignment?
For this task, I did task 4A, so that was sort of the research bit that asked about multi-core versus single-core, threading and processes, and open pragmas, things of that nature.
My name is Phil Hawkins.
All right, Phil, what was your task for this assignment?
My task was to set up our GitHub profile and add our project, the pieces of our project onto the issue board, and also to complete the parallel programming basics.
My name is Yash Shah.
Okay. And what was your job for this assignment?
For this assignment, I was the team coordinator and also the person that compiled the report document.
Okay. My name is Sean Long.
And what is your task for this assignment?
I was tasked with setting up the Raspberry Pi and putting the installation on it and getting it to run with SSH.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Owen.
And what was your task for this assignment?
My task was to create the work breakdown chart. I'm also in charge of compiling and editing the YouTube video.
So, something I didn't know about was the SD formatting that kind of comes with Windows, and like most operating systems apparently doesn't remove partitions, which makes sense. That was like a real weird curveball for me, though. I was really confused for a while, and then I eventually read the documentation, which was another thing that I learned about, because there were multiple things throughout the process. Because it didn't work super well, because the initial instructions were faulty, so I had to figure out a lot of stuff myself, and I really had to like thoroughly read documentation and like research stuff. And when I skipped over documentation, it caused me a lot of problems. And I don't know, it just kind of reinforced that concept's important. And I don't know, I think go ahead, next question is what I was about to answer.
So one of the things that was interesting to me was that sort of the reason that we went to multi-core was so that we could have multiple processes going at once, because there's a point where increasing the clock speed on the processor just isn't feasible anymore. Like we're hitting a wall, and so if you just keep adding additional cores and then coming up with software that segments the processes in such a way that they can be done in parallel, that's a really great way to increase the speed. I'm definitely going to play with Open Pragma more. It seemed like a really interesting way to sort of get a high-level introduction into making your program run in a parallel nature. If you invoke it in your program, and they have different ones for different processes, but if you invoke it, it sort of takes care of the segmentation on its own. So, I guess it's a really good way to speed up the process or kind of dip your toe into the water of.
So I actually didn't know anything about Raspberry Pi. I didn't even know what it was until this assignment. So I learned a lot. I learned that it was a mini computer that you can plug into yours, and it's Linux. And it's also registered to register, which means that it's faster. I also learned a lot about the differences between sequential and then parallel programming. Parallel is like so much quicker because there's two different cores that it can do that can split the tasks and do them at the same time. Learning about the Raspberry Pi, just on a basic level from this, it will definitely help me in the next assignment.
From this assignment, I've learned to make sure I save the document properly, and also to send reminders so everyone's aware of what time like the meeting is. In the future, I'm gonna make sure I properly save the document.
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit more comfortable using the terminal and connecting to the Raspberry Pi remotely, and just compiling C programs, which is new to me. Well, being able to remote into systems is a pretty big deal. You can do a lot with that. You can connect to web servers and things like that. It's just a really good skill to have.
I think the best is when we got together for this assignment. It was just so easy to break up the tasks, and everyone just quickly knew what they wanted to do and what was working best, and people were willing to compromise with what they were willing to do with their schedule, which tasks that they could pick up.
So probably the worst experience is when I installed the disk image that we were given, and then the green light didn't turn on, and I didn't really know what to do there. That took a while to figure out. I tried like re-flashing it, reinstalling it. That's when I learned about the SD partition stuff, and then that was just stressful because I didn't really know how to move forward. But I figured it out. So.
Yeah, when I first connected, or was trying to connect to the Raspberry Pi, I started trying to use SSH, and trying to figure out what its IP address is without having a screen connected was really difficult, and I eventually ended up figuring out that Raspberry Pis have a special localized address that you can use, which is just raspberrypi.local, and once I figured that out, things got easier.
I guess the best experience is that without sending reminders at first, the group members still showed up, which shows their commitment.
What was the best, most challenging, or worst experience you encountered?
To be honest, this one went pretty well. Some of the questions were buried a little bit deeper in the documents that we were given, and some of them specifically the main reasons for multi-threading required me to go sort of outside of the documents, just for my own understanding, to get a better understanding about what was going on there. But I did, and it was fun. Cool. And we're together.
Yeah, all of us
Here,
Yeah,
not green screen.
Go
yeah,
team!
yeah,
Go team!
in physical space.
Right.
All right.